stopping mid-song and going, ah, and then the bass player having to do a solo. Nobody wants to hear that. Hello, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, then welcome to the channel. Today I'm talking about tremolos. In my tremolo in particular on this guitar, or any of my guitars in fact, this is my Harley Benton Black Paisley. You can see a video of this here, and you can also see another video of this here doing a Fender upgrade. Traditionally these guitars come with Wilkinson Trem. I have upgraded this with a 2-point Fender Trem. Also staggered Fender tuners as well, and trees. My issue with trems of this nature is, as standard, they are set floating. So you've got around about an 1/8 of an inch raise there, like gap there, so that you can pull them back and pull them down. So they go backwards and forwards like this. It's not a major issue with tuning, because a properly set up tremolo with a nicely cut nut and decent tuners and trees, etc., will pretty much stay in tune, you know, depending on how much you abuse it. It's never going to be perfect. You're never ever going to get them perfect. My issue is when I break string, and I tend to break a lot of strings. And I do have some hacks which reduces string breakage, which you can see here. But inevitably, a string is going to break. Usually I break string every gig, which is a real ball ache. So picture the scene. You're at a gig, you're wailing away, you're doing the best guitar solo you've ever done. You're you're doing turkey sweeping, and everything. String breaks. Whole guitar is out of tune. You can't do anything. You can't carry on. If you try and carry on, and I've tried, don't do it. It is just horrendously out of tune. So I'm at the point now where I'm thinking, do I need a floating trem just so I can bend it backwards? I don't really bend it backwards all that much. Maybe it's in your style of playing. If it is, you know, there are other options, but I'm thinking, shall I just put the trem back? I don't want to pin it back or anchor it back, because I still want to use the tremolo. So I'm going to pin this back, not pin it back, but I'm going to do it so it's flat to the body. So if a string does break, it's going to keep the tension on the other string so I can carry on. In fact, this did happen to me last night at a gig. I was playing my Les Paul, broke the G string. I was able to finish the song with the 5 strings I had left. Nobody knew. Alright, there is another thing as well that a couple of my loyal subscribers, I'll shout you out, your name's coming up now, here it comes, did suggest to me in a live stream, and you should come to a live stream every Thursday at 7 PM. Join us in the Hutch Club, it's good fun. And they did point out that if you add more springs to your system here, it can increase sustain. So we're going to look at 2 different ways of doing this. One is to tighten these claw screws here, which will make the springs tighter, not the strings, the springs, make them tighter, which will pull back the tremolo towards the body. We'll do that, and we'll look at putting some extra springs in as well. Bear in mind, if you do this, you're probably going to have to adjust your height on your saddles, as it's going to bring the strings closer to the fretboard. This is such a simple job. I'm not going to bother going into the workshop and doing this. I'm just going to do it right here in the studio. It can be done very, very easily. You just need a screwdriver. That's it. My trem looks like this. It's very much floating. So first off, let's tighten them claw screws up. Screwdriver, and off you go. Now, as you do this, it's going to make the guitar go horribly out of tune as well. It's going to bring a lot more tension to the strings. It's all going to go up in tune. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to tune it and then see where we are. So I'm just going to put them right flat as far as possible. Obviously, by adding tension to the springs, it's going to be harder to push the tremolo down when you're playing. So you don't want it too hard, that it's just going to be impossible to use. So there you are, all out of tune. So I'm just going to tune it quickly and then see where we are. Right, so here we are. Just tightening those claw screws all the way to the body. The trem is flat and it returns flat to the body. I would assume with the trem tight against the body like that, that would help with sustain too. Don't know, what do you think? Maybe. It is a lot tighter to push down, but it's still playable. Keeping its tune pretty well. I'm liking the tension on it. It's pretty nice. I'm not too sure about sustain. Not really noticing any difference. Okay, so let's do a sustained test, sort of. I'm going to play the guitar with the 3 springs in, with the claw screwed right back to a backing track. Then I'm going to do the same again with 5 springs in it, with the claw released a little bit, obviously because of the tension. See if there's any difference. Right, so this is it with 3 springs. I'm going to chuck 2 springs in and get it all balanced out the best I can. So there we are, we have 5 springs in the back. I've had to loosen the claw screws off a little bit to account for the extra tension. It feels pretty much the same now using the trem as it did with the 3 springs. So the question here is, does it feel like it has more sustain? So let's try it out. Well, I hate to say it, but you guys were right. There is a noticeable sustain. Also, the guitar feels tighter, more responsive. I'm really digging it. I don't know if you could hear the difference on the recording. It's very hard to get that across, but I can tell you I had more sustain, I had more tone. I felt like it had more tone as well. So that is fantastic, and thank you for the suggestion. So for the last test, and this is really what it's all about for me, is does it stay in tune when a string breaks? How I'm going to do this is I'm going to play a little bit of the solo. I'm going to slacken off one of the strings all the way as far as I can to simulate a string snapping, if you like, and see if I can carry on soloing and it still sound in tune. Here goes. So yeah, success. I slackened off the G string. I don't always break the G string, but I slackened it right off so there's no tension on it. And it was in tune enough for me to carry on, finish the solo, and then I can change guitars at the end of the song rather than stopping mid-song and going, and then the bass player having to do a solo. Nobody wants to hear that. So the verdict on this is, if you can do away with not having the pullback on your Trem, then this is a great solution. I feel that the guitar holds its tuning better as well, slightly. Not that I had a major problem with tuning. No guitar I've ever had stays that well in tune the way I play it anyway. I'm very aggressive. Tone-wise, I feel that having the 5 springs in it did add a bit more sustain and a little bit more tone as well. I'm not sure if you could hear it on the recording back on the YouTube land. Let me know if you did notice a difference. I would really appreciate it. If not, you'll just have to take my word for it. Maybe you've got some other suggestions what I could do with these Trems. Maybe I should just do away with it altogether and just hardtail the lot. I don't know. I don't use a Trem all that much, but it is nice to have it. Especially when you're doing the Hendrixy feel and you want to and all that stuff, you know, I do reach for it when it's not there. Anywho, if you do like this kind of video and you dig my channel, then please do like, comment and subscribe. It helps me out in a big way. We're gunning for that 10,000 subs this year. We're at 2.23 something at the moment. It's been a really good year so far. Lots of growth in the channel, and I thank every single one of you. Also, massive shout out to all the people that come into the Hutch Club every Thursday on a regular basis. I really do appreciate you all turning up and giving me suggestions like this one for a video. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's going to help me out as well with my sound and with my gigging, etc, etc. So thank you for that too. So there's only one thing left to say, and that is peace. Till next time. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you like my YouTube show, hit like and comment and get involved. If you dig my vibe, then hit subscribe and never miss an episode of my YouTube show. Peace. Till next time.